Three, two, one. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. We are here on our Relationship Empowerment Month, and today we're talking about our relationship with our health. And we're going to cover mental health, and we're going to cover physical health, and also what we eat and put in our bodies. It's going to be an exceptional program. We have two great experts on the line here. Karen Mayo is back with us. Yes, I know everybody's excited. And so we're so glad to have you, Karen. It's great to have you on the program. And also Mikhail Fisher, our fitness expert. And he is going to talk to us about different aspects of fitness and health as well. So I'm so happy to have the both of you on the line. Of course, we have Oscar Capel. You just saw us on Focus on You together. And so we're just going to join in together on a conversation on our relationship with our health. I'm going to turn it over to Karen, and we're just going to have a quick discussion on that. Hey, Karen, welcome back.
Hi, Philip. So good to be back. So nice to see you.
Good to see you as well.
Yeah, so let's talk about mindful eating and the relationship with food and mental health. And just, whether we like to admit it or not, food actually does have, emotional and, it takes this another level to, what we eat actually affects us on a deeper level.
Exactly. That is so true. I mean, I feel like that if we eat something, it affects our chemical, platform per se, right? And then, so it causes us not to think properly. Like, what would you say, like, to the person that loves those sweets, the cakes and the cookies and things like that? What kind of relationship with food would you say they have?
Okay, so it's not a healthy one because you have a lot of processed omega-6s, which really is an inflammation diet. And on a cellular level, it's not good either because those sweets and all those processed foods, they accelerate aging. So it's not good to have that. But, even almost like a food and mood, when we drink coffee or alcohol, within 20 minutes, there's some sort of, reaction, whether it's caffeine or, a stimulant. Even when we're eating like turkey at Thanksgiving time, right? So that's our kind of food and mood, that eating of turkey, and then you want to, all that tryptophan, you really, you're passed out. So those are three great examples, actually, how food and mood, even drinking, can affect our mental health and our well-being.
Wow. So would you say, how would somebody go from changing that diet? Like, how would they change the way they think about, their approach on what they're putting in their bodies?
Right. So it's just switching out, right? So it's switching out the coffee for green tea, or even, alcohol is kind of a different animal, but, just starting with healthier options, the better of the lesser evils, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But just making better healthy choices. And again, it's making smaller steps every day to make the big, make a big change. So it's the baby steps, right? So eating a salad every day is good to have for a healthier lifestyle, or to make your digestive tract, work properly.
Wow.
It's just simple. It's just simple things, but I mean, it sounds simple, but it is. So, but often many of us actually just mindlessly eat all day long.
Yeah, that is the thing I've seen in my changing of my diet, going more vegetarian. I grew up Argentine, so everything was meat and fried and vegetables we've seen pictures of. But I started adding in a little bit of salad to my regular meal. And then eventually that little salad got bigger and bigger, where the salad was the main course and the meat was smaller and smaller. I still eat meat, but it's not that, every single meal meat that I had growing up.
Yes.
So it's a little change, making little tiny steps. There's no way, if you would have told me, in my former eating habits, like, we're going to go have a giant salad for dinner, I would have run away. But that small steps to get to that giant salad for dinner is doable.
And also different diets work for different people. So Oscar, you said you moved to more vegetarian. For me, I lost 30 pounds in the last 2 months, and I did that by eating a lot of meats and also vegetables too, but not a lot of carbs. So I cut out my carbs, but I still have a lot of high protein in my diet. So it's just different depending on what type of person and what type of, body composition you have.
Who does that high protein diet apply to? Does it apply to everyone, or
It doesn't apply to everyone. It depends on it depends on how many diets you've tried. So I wouldn't advise, people just starting out to do that, but I've tried many other diets that haven't worked, and this is actually like the only one that I've lost a significant amount of weight on. So it just depends on trial and error for each person.
Karen's shaking her head.
go ahead, Karen.
Yeah, no, I understand. Yeah, everybody is different. You're right, absolutely. And trying different dietary theories is absolutely what you should be doing. You just have to be careful of, obviously everybody's different, so you have to pay attention to your body. You have to know when something is wrong. If you're getting sick or you're not feeling well, that means something is not going right with what you're eating.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
yeah.
So your body will tell you that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Basically, your body's telling you what you need to have and what you don't need to have.
Yeah.
Exactly.
For me, it was so after I started this diet, I actually began to start thinking more clearly because I cut out all my juice, so I only drink water all day, and two, cutting out the carbs out of my diet, and that's what holds water in your body. So I become more thirsty, so I drink more water, and then two, I don't get that crash after I eat a lot of carbs, so my mind is less groggy. So it's also dealing with the mind and the body together too.
It's that sugar crash, that sugar high. Karen, do you recommend, and I know I've read a lot, that cutting out carbohydrates is probably the best thing that we can do, since the wheat that we're eating is so different from the original wheat that our ancestors knew 10,000 years ago. So the body's not processing it at all, and it's just like, we don't know what to do with it, and it's gumming up the works.
Right. So I agree with you about it's gluten, right? So some of us don't even know that our body doesn't like gluten because we're just so used to eating it. But so back when our ancestors, and even when they were, growing up and younger, everyone wasn't, thick, big, 100 pounds overweight. They were not that body shape. They were more thinner. They took care of what they were, again, the seasonal eating is, again, talking about eating by the seasons. But our gluten was so different, and our bodies were so different back in our ancestral days, the whole evolution. But absolutely, gluten is not our friend.
What is gluten?
It's glue. It's wheat. It's glue. That's what makes the bread rise. Yeah. Gluten means glue.
Yeah.
So I mean,
that's why I said gumming up the works. You literally, and what gluten or a high sugar diet will do is make your red blood cells stick together.
Yes.
They can't move freely. They literally bind, and now they can't exchange the oxygen and the way they're supposed to. So it's when you really do the research, you see how look, I'll just have a bagel. A bagel will turn into a half a cup of sugar in your bloodstream.
Yes.
Literally get a half a cup of sugar, pour it down your throat, is the same thing as having a bagel. Phil is stunned again.
Yeah.
It's really hard to make me speechless. And
Yeah.
that, I mean, I haven't eaten a bagel in a very long time, you know. So, but when I used to travel into the city, it is all around you.
Yes,
It's like the
it's
bacon,
fast food.
egg, and cheese,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
croissant,
the
egg,
New
and
York
cheese.
breakfast. That's it.
So, and you're, I mean, constantly moving, you're tempted not to watch what you put in your body, but you know, how you feel does affect how you respond to, you know, relationships as well. Because if you don't feel good, you know, it's going to affect
Nobody
your
feels good.
activities. Yeah,
Yeah.
nobody's gonna, you know, if you feel miserable, that's gonna exude out of you, right?
You know the old saying: if mama's not happy, nobody's happy, right?
Yeah. So if we're not happy with ourselves, I don't think that, you know, we're gonna be make anybody else happy. But so when you're approaching changing your diet, is there a certain way that you can do that? Is there a certain way that you have to do that?
There's not a certain way. Again, it's, you know, you got to live life. So, you know, the either you do the 80-20 rule and work yourself up to 90-10, which means you have well, there's a bunch of ways. So 80% of the time you eat well, and 20% of the time you give yourself a little pass. Or you can do 90% and 10%, or you can look at it on your plate and have 80% of the foods that are nourishing or you know, alkaline, where you have, you know, 20% or 10% of acid. And the acid could be your meat, could be a glass of wine, could be something fried, you know, whatever that acid is. Just, I like to stick, just because I enjoy life, I do 80-20.
80-20.
80-20. I think it's a
Okay.
golden rule. Mhm.
Okay. Wow. What do you think, Mikhail?
So yeah, I look at it by picking whatever diet you want to choose. You got to look at it so that you see yourself living that lifestyle. So like a diet, right? There's a lot of misconceptions that diets don't work, but people actually lose weight on diets. They just can't. They gain the weight back and they can't stick to it. So the main thing is trying to get people to pick a diet that they can see themselves committing to and doing long term.
Yeah, I noticed the word diet has the word die in it as the
Yeah.
first word. So people don't like to diet. Already it's sending a bad message. I look at it as altering what I'm going to eat rather than diet.
Yeah,
It
lifestyle
already
change.
has a bad, because oh, I'm going on a diet. That means you're radically changing your life to something you're not used to. Um, Physically, your body has a chemistry that it's used to. If you try to alter that, your body's going to want to get back to that body chemistry. So if you going back, I forgot which writer said that your body's happy at whatever it is, like a thermostat. It wants to get back to that temperature. So if you introduce something or you take something away, your body starts to become stressed, saying, "Oh my God, it's winter. That food is no longer available. So we need to pack on the calories." There's this whole idea of stress and gaining weight, because before, stress to our ancestors meant there's no food around. It's winter. There's very little to eat. So you're stressed, so your body hangs on to food, hangs on to the calories. So as long as you're stressed, your body thinks it's winter.
And that
Yeah,
also
the
brings
whole problem is unstressing so your body can actually work correctly.
up the idea of fasting, right? So if we look at our ancestors, they went out and got food. They didn't eat breakfast. So another thing that I did was intermittent fasting, which
Yes.
some people could try out. It's not meant for everybody, yes, but puts your body in a position where it's not relying on on the main energy source. So you're going to a secondary energy source for a longer period of time. So your body gets used to that and doesn't need the food to operate.
It's not, intermittent fasting is not that difficult. One way to do it is stop eating at a certain time, like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock,
Yeah.
and then just do not eat until 10 o'clock the next morning. And that is a fast that you can live with because you're sleeping through half of it.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah.
I never thought of it like that.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Mhm.
why it's called breakfast, that you're breaking fast.
Yeah. Breaking fat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Except that we have a snack at midnight and then get up at 5 o'clock and keep eating. So there is no
Yeah.
fasting.
Oh,
It's really healthy. Our bodies actually need it to heal. But obviously that sleep is important too. So sleep is very important, especially if you're fasting.
I just want to remind everyone that we have Karen Mayo and Mikhail Fisher on the line today. We have a promotion out there right now that if you do retain the services of either Mikhail or Karen on the line, we Phoenix National Business Group is going to offer you $50 up to 5 people. So if you do retain their services, we can they're going to reach back out to me and let me know, and we will definitely put that out there for you, as well as also a giveaway for our program. So keep an eye out for the flyers. Make sure you write down their phone numbers, which is posted on the video as you're watching, and share with your friends and your loved ones, because after these 2 weeks are over, we're going to pick the names out of those who have been watching the program and also have retained the services of those who are in the network or that's on our program today. So, Mikhail, I'm going to give you an opportunity to talk about what you offer, and tell the folks what you do.
Okay. So what I do is online personal training, and it's really coaching, right? So I see a lot of people try and lose weight and stick to a couple diets, but what people really need is a coach to guide them through the process. So I provide that through online coaching, and what you get is you get a custom program. So it's catered towards whatever goal you have, and then you have a coach, which is me, to guide you through the whole process so you stay on the goal and you achieve it.
So basically, you're like an accountability. You're somebody to be accountable to, so they can achieve their goals, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
And you help with what are the areas you help with?
Weight loss, strength training, endurance training, all the stuff you need.
And also, you're a been there, done that type of guy. You want to explain how you lost 30 pounds since the pandemic hit?
Yeah, so I started doing a more cardio exercises, and I did, I think it was three days for cardio and then 2 days weight training, and I've been doing that for 2 months. I've lost 30 pounds along with the ketogenic diet that I've been doing.
Wow, that's explain that last diet you mentioned.
The ketogenic diet, so it's the no carb, high fat, high protein diet with a lot of meat and vegetables and not a lot of carbs.
One of the things that Karen talked about is high omega-6. What kind of meats are you using? Because if you're using your standard supermarket beef, that's all grain-fed, not grass-fed, and the omega-6 to omega-3 balance is thrown off. So what's your main meat protein source?
My main meat right now is chicken thighs. I'm not sure about the whole process of that, and I'm not in control of where I get my food either. It's my mom, so so yeah. So I try and pick the most healthy stuff available to me, but yeah.
Okay, so I think, Mikhail, you're doing an awesome job. I think that's great. I just want you to be aware of the types of fats you're putting into your body.
Okay.
Just because when people talk about the ketogenic diet, some things can happen within your body. Like you can, you have your gallstone. Some things can happen with that, with your gallbladder. And then also, if you're taking in a lot of omega-6s, you can have issues with your kidneys as well. So just be careful when you're on it. I think it's a great diet. Just, pay attention to your oils, your fats, make sure they're healthy fats. I think chicken is great for your meats. Be careful of the chicken skin, especially if it's not organic.
Okay.
Chicken
Right.
skin.
Yeah, if it's not organic chicken, be careful of that.
What is it about non-organic chicken skin that should be aware of?
It's just how they're being fed, and it's just got a lot of omega-6s in it.
Okay.
I mean, I love turkey skin. Believe me, I love chicken skin too. Just be careful where you get your chicken. I mean, just pay attention. That's all. I mean, if you
Just
get it
pay
from
attention.
a farm, if you get it from a farm, then you're good to go.
Okay.
Remember that the skin is covering the chicken under the feathers. So any toxins, any things that is sprayed, whatever it is, it's now sitting on the skin.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow. That's good to know. I mean, here's the thing: a common person wouldn't have that information. So we go out there, we see a chicken, we're looking for the biggest chicken.
Yeah.
Right?
Again,
you're like,
if,
this one is big enough.
again, if you see a natural turkey, a turkey out in the field, it is not that big fat butterball turkey. They're lean, they're fast, they fly, they're smart. The ones in the supermarket are grown artificially, let's put it, to become huge breast, a lot of meat. But is that healthy? Is that what our ancestors ate? Is that what the turkey looked like, that our ancestors ate? No. So again, our relationship with food is know where your food is from, know what they have done to it. They're now releasing GMO salmon, and people call that Frankenfish because you don't know what is going to happen with that fish, and that fish is going to go out and mate with regular wild salmon. So we don't know the long-term effect of that.
Wow.
Absolutely. That's very true.
So Karen, tell us a little bit about what you offer as well. I know you have your book, Mindful Eating, but I know you offer different services as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I offer coaching. I offer corporate coaching. I offer individual coaching and group coaching with your health. I'm certified in brain health as well. I work as a nutritionist. So yeah, I mean, if anyone has any issues, I offer free consultations. And really having a conversation about food and mindful eating is just, it's so important to, even if you're executive, if you're working, I mean, what can be more important than your health? I mean, if you don't have your health, you're not gonna have your wealth. So that's so important for the relationship that you have with food. I mean, really check your food out, like look at it on the plate and just imagine how it was grown and the nutrients and how it was, grown in the soil or how it was watered, the sunshine that came on it, and smell it when it comes up to your mouth, smell and then taste it.
Wow. So all these different things have a place in how we check food out before we put it in our bodies.
Absolutely. And you know what? We can even go deeper than that. Let's peel back that onion. And when speaking of onions, there are certain things that you should buy organically and other things that you don't have to buy organically. Like onions, you don't have to buy them organically because they're the pesticides, nothing's going to happen to the onion that you have to worry about that. But, check out the PLU code that is on your produce, on your fruits, on your vegetables to find out what it is or where it came from. So if it starts with a 4 or 5, that it's grown conventionally. And what that means is it's grown with pesticides. So at that point, you have to decide you're going to go home and you're going to make a bath of white vinegar and water, put the fruits and vegetables in the water, clean them. And then if you have a PLU code with an 8, which means it was genetically modified, and obviously you got to make decision if you're going to eat that or not. I would never buy something like that. But then you have a PLU code that has a 9, and 9's organic.
Karen, can you explain what genetically modified means? Because people think, oh, we've been genetically modifying food forever, and by crossing this species with that species, and they don't realize that it's not a natural to natural selection.
No,
And
genetically
deeper
modified is not natural at all. It is okay. So Monsanto, I'm going to say it, doesn't matter. Monsanto is one of the companies that makes genetically modified products. And what happens is, okay, let me back up too. So 85% to 90% of the corn that's grown in the United States is genetically modified. And what that means is Monsanto has sprayed the seed for the corn with all of the pesticides that it needs to grow. That way it won't be disturbed by bugs. And then it also has this amazing amount of toxic carcinogen in it. And, and then obviously there's no weeds, there's no bugs. So you got a perfect piece of corn that then goes to the grocery store. And then you eat that, and then all of a sudden your gut just starts to inflame. You have bloating, you have all kinds of gas. Well, what that is it's toxins from the corn you just ate. So the genetically modified corn is not good for us. So just pay attention to where you're getting your food from. Also, there's a lot of genetically modified things, products being made right now. And one of them is what they're trying to offer us for the COVID. So just pay attention, ask questions, find out what's in your shots you're getting, find out what's in anything you put in your body.
Right. When you see something that says this crop is Roundup ready, it sounds really good. But Roundup ready means exactly what Karen said. They've already introduced the Roundup into the seed. So now you can spray even more pesticides on that crop because that crop will not be affected by the heavy pesticide use. So Roundup ready just means we have a crop that will not die from our pesticide. So, or herbicide, whatever it is they're spraying on it. But one of the things that the glyphosate, I don't know if I'm pronouncing correctly, if a bug eats that, it makes their guts explode, basically.
Yep.
Really?
Now imagine, a little bug gut is going to explode by eating that corn.
Yep.
What happens when we eat that corn? People have heard something about intestinal problems. They have leaky gut syndrome.
Exactly.
So how much is, if that little amount will kill that bug, this amount won't kill us, but what if it gives us leaky gut? So again, you really need to research on where your food is coming from and what the overall effects are of our choices. We're scaring Phil, you know that, Karen.
Well, I'm sorry.
Phil's going to be drinking water and eating butterfly wings for the rest of his life now. That's it.
I'm going to be growing my own corn.
Hey, I have my own chickens, okay?
Yeah. Now I understand why you have your own chickens.
See?
Now I do. I can't make fun of it anymore. He's truly going organic. But this is great information to have, guys. This is great information because it's not common information. It's not information that it's not information that's put on the billboard that, hey, by the way, I do soak these seeds in the insecticide and put it in the ground, and we still put those foods within our body because generally, yes, if I eat it today, it won't hurt me today, or maybe it won't hurt me tomorrow. But give me a couple years of eating that same thing, and it will start. Your body will start showing signs because, like you said, Oscar, you can't really digest this stuff.
Sure.
Right? Well, actually, Mikhail and Karen will say what you eat today will affect you today because if you do have that high carb breakfast, you're going to crash after that. So it will affect you today because you're going to get that sugar high, and then the low is going to be lower than where you started off. So yeah, what you eat today will affect you today.
Wow.
And Phil is silent again.
I love you guys. I would have you on every single day just because. But I mean, I love this. This is great information. I know we're running out of time, but like Mikhail, like give us some like final round advice. Like if you had, I'm going to give you a scenario and then you can put us here. You have somebody that says, okay, I am ready. I'm ready. I want to give you a call. I want to change. I want to make this change today. All right. They call you.
Yeah.
What's like the process of getting started?
Right. So the process is starting out identifying your trends, right? So that's what I do with everything, not just diet and exercise. You before you can change anything, you have to identify what you want to change. So before I talk about what diet is best suited for you, I just go through your exercise program, I go through your diet program, and I see what I can help with.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so what's the next step after that?
Well, after that is diagnosing what's the correct way to go for each person. And there's no like one way. Like there's people say there's one diet to fix or one program to fix this or whatever, but it's just individual. You have to identify it individually to see what best suits you and your body.
Karen, same question.
So my process is we have a conversation. I do a health history. We talk about what you've done in the past as far as eating goes, what you're doing now. I ask for blood work, so your last blood work, or if you'd like to do a new panel, we do a new panel. And basically kind of just go through and figure out tweaking things. A lot of things are just tweaking. Finding out what you're doing now, and how about we do this instead of this, or how about instead of you have the waffles in the morning, we only have them on the weekends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that 80-20 rule again, right? So instead of having you're eating 4 or 5 times a day, you have 3 good meals with 2 snacks, and then just figure out what people want to do, and just baby steps again. So putting the baby steps into a healthier diet.
That's awesome. That is awesome. I know my wife and I have Karen as our dietary coach, and she's really been awesome. My wife started losing weight as well, so she's very exciting. I'm sure I probably shouldn't have shared that because she's probably going to be like, I want to tell Karen. So we really appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
And so I'm glad that both Mikhail and Karen were able to make it on today. You guys make a good duo, man. We need to do this again, and we'll do this again. Guess what? You guys will be back next Wednesday. Everyone that's watching, you want to pay attention. Stay tuned. Next Wednesday, they're going to be back on the program, and they're going to share a few other things with us as to how to have a better relationship with food in our lives. So stay tuned for that. Don't forget that we're giving away a gift to those who patronize those who are in our network and those who come on the program. So pay attention to those emails that you see right below the screen, and the phone numbers. Reach out to them, get an assessment. Don't assume that this is extremely expensive and you can't afford it. You can't not afford it. Okay, you can't not afford it. As you have learned through the program, you really can't afford to even just trust what you're reading on a label. And for the most part, sometimes we don't even understand what we're reading on a label. And so the services of Mikhail and Karen, they're here to help you kind of navigate through those paths and get to the place that you want to be physically, so you can do more things. When you take that vacation, when you're able to go to Florida without getting COVID, you know, and you want to show off that beach body. Listen, these are the guys to talk to, the guy and the lady to talk to on these subjects. So don't miss out. Don't assume. Give them a call. Send them an email and get your process started. Okay. Don't delay. Don't delay. Get on it today. Ooh, I love that. Oscar, don't be jealous. Don't be
Oh,
jealous.
no.
Okay?
No,
Don't be jealous.
and you said, what is the price? If you think organic food is expensive, try pricing out a heart attack and what that costs to get back from. So yeah, do the math.
No, actually, it's funny you said that because I was talking to a financial advisor the other day, and they said that the biggest debt that a lot of people have are medical debts.
Mhm.
The debts that they accumulate over getting sick over the years, and that's just the way insurance has been for us. So
And again,
medical debt is huge.
we have to change our thought. What Mikhail and Karen are doing is healthcare. What we look at the hospital, that's sick care. That's not healthcare at the hospital. Healthcare starts with these guys saying, hey, put the right fuel in your body. And basically we have a Ferrari and we're sticking sand in the crankshaft. It's not a good idea. Let's fuel the one body we have with the best octane fuel that we can get. And McDonald's and Dunkin' Donuts, hint, hint, is not the best way to go.
I have a feeling you were aiming at me with that Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh no, that was directly at you. I wasn't aiming at you.
You're trying to get me, Oscar. I got you.
Stop me when I'm lying. Okay.
No, but that is the truth. That is the truth. But for everyone that is watching, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Like and share. If this information has been valuable to you, please let us know. We want to know. Share on your comments. Reach out to me through Messenger. And just let us know that you love these programs. You want to see more of it, and we will definitely work on doing that. All right. So thank you so much for watching, and you will see us again tomorrow. Tomorrow at 11. Frank Coppola is going to be on, and he's going to be talking about developing business relationships, long-term business relationships, and even just kind of like how to manage relationship within your family during this time of COVID and quarantining. Some people are still quarantining. So, how to really kind of manage and navigate our relationships in that time. And then also at between 12 and 1, we're going to have another health professional, Jaro, and he's going to be talking to us as well. So you don't want to miss that. It's going to be exciting, great information being shared. And so we will see you then. Take care. Bye-bye.